Taking a video today of the conservatory, which I have used as a greenhouse and a propagating room. And this is the conservatory now. Today it's the 17th, is it 18th? Well, it's a Friday anyway, the 17th or 18th of September, and that's what it looks like here today. I planted a lot of things that can go outdoors, indoors, especially the fuchsias. I decided to plant them indoors because they seem to do really well indoors. At the moment, all the outdoor fuchsias seem to suffer from a disease which causes its leaves to crinkle up, so I've just brought them all in. This is chili Maui purple. Here's the chili. I planted these quite late. Again, I sowed the seed extremely late. It's got a dusting of what you can see, aphids and other type, well, mostly aphids basically. I think it is mostly aphids, red, green, you name it, they've got them. And so I sowed these seeds again. I think it was either late April. I believe it was late April. All these chilies were sown late April, and they're just coming into form. Unfortunately, I've been away, so I didn't get a chance to spray these yet, so I'm going to spray them soon. Quite a beautiful plant. I actually grew this because I just love the look of it. I can't really eat chilies that much, so yeah. Then I've got these ones. These are Chilean glory vines, which I want to transplant, and these are rhodocitons. This is again very, very late sowings, hence they are still in their 9 cm pots. I've got a whole bunch of chilies over here as well. These are mostly peppers actually, habanero peppers. One of these is chocolate habanero, I think that's the one, and this one is actually a Trinidad perfume. Over at the back there's a Trinidad perfume, and it looks like it was a bit ahead of the others, even though they were all potted up at the same time. I don't really know why plants do what they do, but these ones have got lots of lovely, lovely peppers or Scotch bonnets on them. And this one, Trinidad perfume, is supposed to have the flavour of a Scotch bonnet, but none of the heat. I have grown it before, and I remember just harvesting one from this, and this was in Wales and in a greenhouse. There was a very, very faint taste, so I couldn't really tell you whether it tasted like a Scotch bonnet, but it was alright anyway. So I'm hoping these ones, I mean, there's now more here, and we've still got another 6 weeks of growing hopefully within the conservatory, so I'm hoping they'll mostly ripen on all these trees here. You can see the wind out there. You can see we haven't gone out today. And then other chilies. This is my experimental tomato that overwintered. I'm going to cut it back again and see what it does. It might die, but it has given us a lot of fruit, as you can see. I must admit I'm not a great Instagrammer because I don't really post things all the time, and I don't take pictures all the time. This is Basket of Fire, another chili. They don't look white, they look yellow. Yeah, that's the colour, yellow-green. It's a really pretty plant actually. I love chilies because they're such pretty plants. That's why I grow them. I don't tend to grow them for any other reason. I do try to eat them every now and then, but I do suffer. This has been a success story of this growing season. Basil, and especially this Greek basil. This has been just producing leaf after leaf. Now the leaves are getting bigger because I'm guessing it's a bit colder and there's less light levels, so the leaves are getting bigger. But these were really, really tasty. Unfortunately, I sowed these Nicotianas, but I never got around to transplanting them, so I will be doing them. I'll be transplanting them into modules, and they do overwinter quite well, so I will just overwinter them in the conservatory and plant them out next year. This beautiful dahlia over here was not a very happy bit of tuber, which I just planted, and I'm glad I did because I don't think I have this colour or shape. And there are various other things. These are all the basil, success story really with the basils, because they did really well. I think that hot March weather really helped germinate them and gave them a good start. Now I think I won't be sowing basil until the weather is really warm and dry and really hot, especially in March. I might just sow them a little bit later. I always try in March, and then they don't really do well, and then I just give up. These are all the other plants. As you can see, the fuchsias are quite healthy. And I'm going to keep them here, and I'll take a picture of my outdoor fuchsias, especially in the front. It looks terrible. Here are more peppers. This I'm really waiting for. This variety is called IE Lemon Drop. There are some flowers on it, and they're not supposed to be very big, so I've got some organic fertilizer coming tomorrow, and all these will be fed extremely well. This is Anaheim, chili Anaheim, and it's, again, these were just tiny about a week ago. I left and came back, and look at the size of them. I managed to pull one off by looking at it, and that was given to a neighbour. Lemons, all the other plants that actually just overwintered, including that begonia. You see this red begonia? I think it's called an angel wing begonia, for obvious reasons. Now this one I actually bought from a gentleman, a barrowman, up near Tooting Broadway Market, and he said, don't bring it in, it won't do well, just keep it outside somewhere sheltered, but they do need to be kept outside. He said they won't come back next year. Well, it didn't actually die back the whole of the winter. I just kept it on the dry side, and then eventually at some point I saw new shoots forming in the center there, so I cut all the old growth back, and these new shoots came out and flowers. So I'm sure he didn't know what he was saying, but also at the same time, people who sell plants need to sell them all the time, so they can't have you believing that things don't survive. They can't have you believing that things survive harsh winters. And this is my Calamidine lime. I brought it in because I wanted to smell the flower, the scent of the flowers. They were, it was in bloom, and there's still some there. Unfortunately, because I did that, it ended up, some of the flowers didn't get pollinated. There are loads still that have been pollinated, fortunately, and for the other flowers that are still on them, I'm going to put this out again for a bit, just to, be just on the doorstep of this conservatory, to get some, some wind on there, and hopefully get more pollination of the flowers. That's a quick tour. Sorry it's taken so long, but it's a quick tour of the greenhouse. These are the new plants, hopefully going to go into sheltered places. Greyhound cabbage, forget-me-nots over there, lettuce, pansies, and more lettuce. And this one is catmint. It's called Nepeta calamintha, and apparently it smells really amazing. To me, it smells a little bit like hashish or weed, but I don't know. Maybe it's not in the right place. I don't know, but it looks lovely, so I'm gonna keep it. All this was grown by my lovely neighbour in Clandicilio, Graham. She's not in Clandicilio. He lives in a town adjacent, a village adjacent to us, and he grew all these plants, which my plants are still quite small, which I'll show another video of that later. So grateful that he sowed this. All right, well, end with a picture of Bonbon.